Chat. Free. Song is Cherry Bomb by someone who speaks Japanese. Siren something, Cherry Bomb something. Thank you, Blackout, for the 32 months. Silent Siren. Oh, you know. What a god. You're being comfy at work. You're watching me at work. Get back to work, Sonny. Or you're gonna get fired. That is my fault. Thank you, Geek, over the 41 months. I appreciate it. Super Hot is 4 years old. Congratulations. Woo. Alright, let's see if we missed any endings in the main game, and then we'll play the demo, which is apparently a lot different. Thank you, Geeko. Thank you for the 53 months, Tyrazol.
This is the story of a man named
Let's
Stanley.
watch the intro again, in case we forgot.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Why are you compressing my audio?
Stanley was happy.
I don't yell a lot.
And then one day,
I'm very
something
quiet.
very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete
say hi to me.
isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
I'm apparently missing a
Shocked,
couple
frozen
endings, but I don't know
solid,
which ones.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest
So let's
time. But as he came to his
meander.
wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his
So
co-workers
we did the
were
office
gone.
ending, we
What
did
could
the
it
broom
mean?
closet.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Blaze it.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I want to go in there. That room looks cool.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I do like the broom closet ending. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. My favorite one is still the Minecraft and Portal ending. That one's cool. Some good old-fashioned fan
Yet
service.
there was not a single person here either.
Hell yeah.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
Hello,
boss's
Kika.
office, hoping he might find an
We're
answer
going in
there.
again, chat.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet,
We're going
but there
in.
was nothing here.
It's
so
too
he turned
good.
around and got back
I
on
can't
track.
resist.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still
But
be
it's
here.
the broom closet.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet F.A.
My favorite line. Doing sweet F.A.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Thanks, Mosquito Sneak, for the 58 months.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and we're just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of.
God, I love
before
this
it
dial.
begins. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
Chad, I'm fucking dead.
He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
All right, Chad, I'm coming out of the closet.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
I'm coming back in.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
The writer for
Coming
this
to a
game
staircase,
is incredible.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I think we've heard most of these jokes already yesterday, and they're still as hilarious, if not more hilarious.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh no, it's this one again. I don't think there's anything else to do down there. Other than walk around in a circle. Someone mentioned there's something called the window ending I haven't gotten.
That's all I need. If I can make it through
maybe
this
I
door,
should just
I can
walk
make it
around.
through them all.
See if I find a specific window that looks interesting. Maybe I have to look out of a window for a while, or jump out of a window, or marry a window. I don't know. Oh, and I missed another ending. Oh, I'll try that unlighted.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Later today, chat, we're going to the racetrack again. I'm so hype. I'm gonna run a sub 13 today. It's happening.
Here either.
It's happening.
A wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
You're all gonna be there.
He might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, enter the office and then leave the office. Huh. How? That's so hard. Is it this window? Oh, that's the reception area, right?
Stepping in.
It just cuts off the dialogue. Uh-oh. Is this even an ending? Oh, what? That opens again. Huh? Oh my god, it's the room closet again, Pog. Does that just break the game? The narrator is officially broken. Oh, it's okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll just go back to my office. Kana Pog you broom emoji. Oh, I see. Step into the void with me, chat. What? You are now leaving. Cool. Escape to Pod Bay, floor 760. Oh man, do I have to walk up a bunch of stairs now? I do. How exciting. It's the SCP, the staircase SCP. I'm terrified, I hate it. I played that game, it was so scary, dude. I played it years and years and years ago, where I tried for a month to become a horror game exclusive channel. My entire playthrough basically looked like this. It was very exciting. Is that the one where it's just stairs? Yeah, and eventually, like, a face comes at you. Or I also played the hallway one, which also looked a lot like this. Oh my god, we're in the escape pod bay. Why does this building have an escape pod? Why is it so fucking dark? I can't see anything. Oh. Okay, something has to be different.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it
Hi,
through this
Dice.
door, I can make it through them all.
What changed? There's no way that... Did that... I need debug mode enabled? Is that something I have to enter in a special menu. So do I have to do that with
Stanley came to
debug
a set
mode
of
turned
two
on?
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I feel like more is supposed to happen with that one. Alright, I'll try doing that quickly. Choto a minute. Vampi Chan Sugoi Dakara. Properties. Do I just type in debug? Launch options, deep debug. Do I just do this? Oh, dev. Thanks. I'm now a developer. I made this game.
This
Thank
is
you,
the story
Ponce,
of a
over the
man
9 months. Alright, so I guess I'll do that again with
All
debug
of
mode.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Circle's a pretty damn good emote, I like it.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hi, Skinny Ted.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping in.
SV Cheats 1.
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at,
tables. I don't know which one I want.
I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
I'm in the serious room. I didn't do anything. That would advance the system clock by 1 trillion years. Actually? Alright, chat. Are you guys ready to live in the future? Do SV Cheats 1 again? Never mind, we're not gonna live in the future. Too bad.
Whoa! Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your
I love
new
cheating.
punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
Thank you, Gemini, for the 39 months. Appreciate it. Doing it again.
Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
I can't wait to see what the next table's gonna be. I bet it's gonna be a round. I would take a round table, seriously. Not this rectangular bullshit. Who the fuck takes a rectangular terrible The fuck was that sentence? A rectangular table. Rectangular table. Terrible. I'm doing it again. Oh shit, is he mad at me? He's not talking to me anymore. Come back, narrator senpai, I love you. You left to get tables? Right. I guess I gotta just keep trying. Nope. Well, no one's here. I guess I'll just keep cheating. Just gonna keep doing it. Thanks, Mana Cheese. I love me so much too. Yeah, this table isn't even like, doesn't have any kind of varnish or lacquer on it. Like, it looks rough as hell as well. Like, you'd rub your hand across it and get 700 splinters. I wish I could flip the table. God, at the GDQ arcade, they actually have that table flipping arcade game. I suck at it. If you could believe that you can suck at flipping a table. I suck at flipping a table. Okay, I don't know anymore. It's legit a piece of plywood on 4 metal leg. Dude, one of my friends had the greatest table. It was a door on 2 saw stands. That was the ultimate table. It was gigantic. I don't know. Maybe I will advance the clock and see what happens. I'm curious. Adjust date and time. Let's go. How do I even change the year, actually? Change. Let's go to the year 2050. Oh god, the game crashed. I don't think that works. Open it again. Okay. Future. Future. I can't even start the game. Maybe 2050 was too aggressive. Let's try like 2025. There we go. Hey, I got the achievement for not playing the game for 5 years. Cool. What?
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find.
Oh, you'll get
I
it
looked
soon,
at many,
Kex.
many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that we all...
Aw, man, chat. I can't believe how dead my stream is. My last sub was 5 years ago. That sucks. Thank you, by the way, Gemini. That's a shame. If only someone would subscribe now so I have a sub from 2025.
tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have.
I'm actually legitimately curious. What happens if someone subs now and I change it back to 2020?
Cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No
Thanks,
jokes,
shrugging.
no
That actually
games.
doesn't show
Outside
up
of
on
this
the
room,
tracker.
I might be more tolerant of
Continuing your
those
gift
things,
sub.
but now we're in the room.
There, that one does.
Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room.
Trillion billion
Perhaps
years.
after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
Thank you, Real Anime Hours, as well. Welcome back, you two. Thank you for gifting a sub to MZ.
Whoa, did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables. And I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb
roll ahead the
and say
clock
that
to
you're
be
devastated
infinity.
by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try. Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It
This
isn't
little
serious
ass
enough.
table.
That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
We're never gonna see what table he picks out. I guess this is it. Alright, let's see what happens when I move this back to 2020. Alright, so in 5 years from now, Real Anime Hours is going to gift a sub to MZ. I can either accept it or I can decline it. I'm going to accept it. Thank you 5 years from now for the support. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Yeah, I also wonder if it's gonna stay at the top now. Yeah, I think I'm just trapped in the serious room forever. By then it won't be worth as much due to inflation, so better accept it now. That's a good point. Well, we definitely learned something. I'll try to figure out
Stanley knew the office
how to
layout
do
like
the
the back
window
of his
ending.
hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever.
Map test chamber A00. Portal? We go into portal? I have the demo, I haven't done it yet. We'll do it in a bit.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You trapped in
This
a
was
glass
like my
box
favorite ending.
with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired.
But
I
before
couldn't have
this,
done
it does
any better
Minecraft.
myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is. Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
No, movement tech doesn't work because you can't jump.
Genius.
It's alright, I like having fun with how terrible the source engine is sometimes. Still not good enough. Still not good enough. Perfect.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience.
That's true,
Which
mental.
is why, rather than continue to waste my
No,
time, I'm
you
just going to
can't
leave
jump
you here.
or anything,
You
True
can
Blitz.
pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've...
Thank you, Rage Starfish, for the 30 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I wonder if there's anything over here that I missed. Can I no-clip? Nah. You legitimately can't enable SV cheats, or you get taken to the serious room. Thank you, Washer, for the 67 months. Anyways, enough of this. Let's find the window ending. That is the important thing to do right now.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Video SV cheats 1 in the main menu. You can do more. Fine, you're twisting my arm. Liar! I'm in the serious room. I can't believe I've been bamboozled by the people who I thought I could love and trust.
This is the story of a man named...
I love you, chat. Duo said I missed an ending within the first couple rooms of leaving my office. Oh man, this poor guy's job is to sharpen pencils. That's unfortunate. It was my first time yesterday. Blue one. Oh. Oh. What? It's so bright in here.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
My eyes.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration?
I don't care, but it's worth it.
Mrs. Rich, perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now,
I feel pretty lucky.
I brought up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I'm down to sit in this spot forever, to be completely honest. Well, now I have to go back and click yes, or I'll never know. Forever.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
What do
memo.
you mean, no?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Wait, I missed music?
He
Well,
then
now I have
praised
to
the
do
game
no
for its
again.
insightful and witty
After
commentary
yes.
into the nature
And
of
then we'll
video
do
game
no.
structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Pretty
Why
cool.
don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Sip.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
All right, bring it on.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Ooh.
The truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
Narrator
And
is
if you are not
amazing.
strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
It is so cozy. I don't know about you, chat, but I'm pretty dang comfy. Are there any other endings I'm obviously missing? I know there's an achievement I wanted to get called Off So Close.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible?
Options. I am in the options. Oh, I didn't have raw mouse input on. What kind of gamer am I? Why do you never jump? Because you can't. I am not doing 4 hours of the baby ending. I refuse. Oh. God damn it.
They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
That's amazing. Alright, are there any other endings that I'm missing?
When
I
Stanley
think
came
I
to
got
a set of 2 open
all the
doors,
really good
he
ones.
entered the door on his left.
Hi, Evie. Yep, we're going racing later.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Bark. Raphael. Cool, that did things, I guess. Ah. I don't know what Raphael's supposed to do. Dogs love the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Computer in the first room. Alright. Oh no, I'm still barking. Stop.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could it mean?
Oh, this computer.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
So do I have to keep restarting the game and clicking on it?
all of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah, well, watch
What
that
could it
before I
mean?
play the demo.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
It's different computers each time.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace
That was
of
in
his
this room, I
co-workers.
think. Yeah, this one. Oh, do I have to fill up all of those? What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh shit, I
Stanley
got the
decided to go to the
whiteboard
meeting room.
ending.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Console bark.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
The monitor room music Easter egg. The monitor room after the boss's office, that one?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Was that from touching the computer, or was that just for me resetting a bunch?
Yet
Hey,
there
what's
was
up,
not
Kyrie?
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase,
I'll keep poking the computer then.
how long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses
Oh no,
were
it changed.
turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Yeah, 2. Let's go, baby. We're doing it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh god, where is it now? It could be anywhere. This looks different. Oh, it has a chance to not appear at all.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the
It's on your
orders stopped
screen.
coming in?
Ah.
How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely
Hi,
I
Tom
was
Butter.
mistaken.
Show yourself, damn you. No, it's gotta be on another computer. To the boss's office.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Excuse
Yet
me,
there
I'm
was
dying.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, is it on this computer? It is. You cheeky butt face.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Let me touch.
Stanley went around touching every little
I
thing
will.
in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did
Touch.
it advance the
I can't
story
touch.
in any way.
Is this one lying to me? Let me touch. Let me touch. I want to fucking touch. Maybe that one's fake. That won't let me touch it. And I'm sad. poke. Why can't I interact with it? I'm restarting. Oh, dang it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Why?
decided to go to the
Oh,
meeting room. Perhaps
I got
he had
it.
simply
I
missed
had
a
to
memo.
stand right here.
No matter how hard Stanley...
Okay. Weird.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to
Alright,
himself.
one more time.
That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
This one's probably hiding in a crazy spot.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the
Maybe
meeting
over
room,
here.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Right, so there's no computers in the employee lounge.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open
I
door
don't think
on his
there's any
left.
computers over there.
And so he detoured through the maintenance
That's
section,
true, I didn't
walked
check
straight
my
ahead to the
computer.
opposite door, and got back on track.
I kind of just walked out. So that is a possibility. Yup. Oh shit. This is heaven? Heaven's filled with buttons to push. I love it. Please don't tell me something happens if I push every single button in this room. Otherwise, oh no, they light themselves again. Never mind. My heaven is pushing endless buttons to push. Buttons. Buttons. Dorime. Alright, that was fun. Alright, I'm missing an Easter egg in the monitor room, I guess. And then I think Raguchi. If the song's in the monitor room, I haven't gotten it yet. Now we jumped out of the window.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
An ending on the right door. Like a door to the right, or right is in the correct door. Is the monitor room the room in the boss or after the boss's office?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
Yeah, I
stop
already
by
got
the
the one for
employee
turning
lounge
off the
first,
phone.
just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
Wow,
left.
yes, what a beautiful room.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yeah, I've
and got
gone
back
down
on
the
track.
service lift. That was one of the earlier ones that I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
Yep, I did
to
the
his
window.
boss's office.
I did that one today.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief. Stanley was in such a rush to get
remembered
through the
it.
story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
So calm.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Aw. Invisible wall pops up. I was trying to walk out of it. No, we'll watch that before I play the demo, which will be soon. I assume the trailer's on YouTube and not on Steam, unless it is on Steam.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of
What
his
demo?
job.
The Stanley
Why
Parable
did he feel
demo.
this
It's a
now,
different
when for
scenario.
years it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hold on, I'm busy. So apparently
The lights
there's
rose on an enormous
music
room packed
Easter
with
egg in
television
here.
screens. What horrible secret did this
I
place
assume it's
hold?
this room.
Stanley
I
thought to
can't
himself.
imagine what other
Did he
room
have
would
the
be called
strength
the
to
monitor
find
room
out?
if not this one. Cutie. Don't get on the elevator. Okay. Sounds good.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom meant nothing. Alright, there's the elevator button. I'm not gonna get
This
on it.
mind control facility, it was
I'm
too
just gonna
horrible
sit
to
here
believe
and
it
be
couldn't
cool.
true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
No, I'm
That
not gonna
his
get on.
emotions had been
My memory's
manipulated
not
to
that. It's
accept
pretty
it
terrible.
blindly?
I'll just stand here. Unless I have to walk onto this for a second and then walk off. Just sip some tea. It's letting me walk this way now. The hell's that red text say? Oh god. Scared the shit out of me. Jesus. That's so fucking loud. Never give up on your dreams. This is heckin' bop.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
Still
own
very
life
colorful.
in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even
Game's
possible?
really good. GIF
Had he
XP,
truly
you should
spent
play
his
it.
entire life?
Alright. Does saving actually work? Oh.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the
shit
time
all
I
over the
thought
floor.
everyone had gone missing.
Are these my save games? Who made this mess? Who wants to play like 1,000 paper pickup?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
Interesting.
the door on his left.
Look at all of my saves.
Yet there was not a
Alright. Let's do the Raphael trailer and then we'll do the Stanley Parable demo.